this time how I'm going to start it. Big one. Yes.
Oh, there's two people. Hi, Julie. Hi, Brina. Good morning, ladies. I was trying to make sure everybody was on there. Thank you for sharing. Sorry we're running a little late today. Had a little technical difficulties with Facebook. Wouldn't let me hop on when I wanted to. So how is everyone doing today? Thank you for the shares. Good morning, Darcy and Janice. My niece is here with me today. Show me your twinkle fingers. Magic fingers. Here she is. Hot Indiana. Hey, Adrian. Good morning, Karen. You hear my helpers. Yeah, I got some other helpers in the background. They're not going to be helping so much. Let me just adjust this a little bit.
There we go. They're just playing family.
Just colored a bunch of rhinos. There you go. That sounds awesome, Donna. We love the rhinos. We're gonna make a card today. It's coincidentally that you were doing the rhinos, huh? We're gonna use the Animal Expedition Suite. So, oh, Pat, I just hopped on. You didn't miss anything. It's beautiful Northeast Ohio. We're going to be using the Animal Expedition Suite. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a little shortcutting today, okay? So, we'll show you that. Hey, Marty. Oh, thank you for waiting. I appreciate it. You know Facebook, every week you get on and it's something new has happened. So, hang in there 1 second.
Just 1 second.
All right. Sorry, we had a little dispute with the helpers. Color the horn the correct color. That's funny. Yesterday somebody did all this work with coloring the horn. I think it was Teresa. She's in our Team Stamp It, and she ended up having a little bit more overcoloring with the rhino horn, but that's okay. You know what? That's the beauty of being an artist. All right, so what we're going to do today, so she's going to show you what we're going to be using. So what are we going to use?
Animal Friends.
Thinlits.
Thinlits dies.
Okay, and we're going to be using the
Animal Outlet.
Animal Outing stamp set, right? And we're going to use the Animal Expedition Designer Series paper. And the reason we're going to use this is because we're going to be doing a little shortcutting today with the Big Shot. So, and then look, even on here, see the rhino has a gray horn. It's not white, so she really didn't do anything goofy. So what we're going to be doing today is you're going to decide what we're going to do. So if you are in like a pinch for time, you can use your Thinlits to cut out whatever animal you want to use. You just have to make sure, because there are some on here that are facing the opposite direction. So you could do your rhino with the little bird. You could do your giraffe, which he'll fit over here. You can even do the frog on the branch,
which is really cute.
It's super cute. Where is he? He's over here. Now on this paper, you would kind of get a little bit of the giraffe in the background, but that's okay. So you let me know which one we're going to use, which animal. We'll get that cut out. But what we're going to do first is we're going to show you, I did not order this the first time, and I kind of wanted to share why. Let me just move this trash can anyway. Watch your knee for 1 second so I can get a little closer. I'm kind of at a premium for space here. You okay? Okay. So we're going to use the Subtle Dynamic Textured Impressions Embossing Folder. And I didn't get this when it was in the catalog because I'll be honest with you, it didn't look like it did anything. And I was like, what is this even for? Because it doesn't look like it does anything. But it's pretty neat. I don't know if you can see the detail on that. It actually makes things look like denim. And it also kind of makes it look like, if you guys remember a while back, we had that paper that was called Coordinations. And when you ripped it, it was different on the inside. So it kind of gives that texture to it, but it's really, really nice. And it is very subtle, but it's super cool. So we're going to use this today. And then we're also going to use the Big Shot embossing mats because I finally had some time to fool around with that. So to kind of show you guys the difference between everything. So what I wanted to do was, we're going to move all this out of the way for a second. Can you show them what we did when we used this? So we have, we'll put this on the green, that way you can see it. Here.
So we had this and we just used something to cut it out.
We use the regular Big Shot pads, and what it does is it makes holes.
Yeah.
Or if you use, depending on which one of the embossing mats you use, you can get two different, and just make sure you stay.
You can get one around the ring, and you can get one without the ring.
Right. So we kind of wanted to go with the one without the ring because that way it just gave a lot of background. And what do you think that looks like too besides a giraffe?
Rocks.
Doesn't look like pebbles, like a path. So this is another use for this. You could use this for a stone path if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, you could just keep stamping.
Yeah, you could stamp it and make a path. So if anybody still has that cozy cottage and they wanted to make like a path leading to the cottage, that's a good idea for you to use there. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to move this out of the way. And first we're going to use that dynamic. So we're going to make a base. Our base card is going to be Garden Green. And this is 4 1/4 by 11. And we're going to score it. We scored it at 5 1/2. So you can go ahead and fold that. Fold it over. And then use the bone folder just to make your crease real hard. All right. Embossing folder is there, but not there. Yeah. Yes, you can definitely use your brayer too. That would make really, really, really cool ones. If it keeps freezing, maybe try going out and in again. Sometimes that does happen with Facebook, and that's kind of like a Facebook thing. I'm really sorry. That's
a Facebook thing.
Sometimes it just gets frozen. So we have one panel of Whisper White. This is going to be the inside. We're not going to use this part yet. What we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of crumb cake, and I cut this down to 3 3/4 by 5, and we're going to run this one with that textured, that subtle embossing folder. So let me move this over.
Oh yeah, that was really fun.
So we're going to put that through here. Okay. And either way is fine because it's pretty universal. And when you use the Big Shot for the dynamic folders, you want to remember you don't need both plates. Okay. And you don't need your thin adapter. You're just going to use your base. And then we're going to put this in here. So put our base. Then we have our cardstock inside of our folder.
Yes, it moves around a lot.
And then just one plate. Because otherwise you could break your Big Shot if you try to jam stuff in. It probably wouldn't go anyway, but go ahead and roll that through. So keep cranking. It does get a little hard. Keep going. Hold it and crank it. There you go. When you do a lot of Big Shot cranking, by the end of the day, she's going to have really nice biceps. She already does, so really. Okay, so if you can see this.
Whoa, that looks so cool.
You can see how cool that is. It's not easy to tell unless you have it in front of you. I'm not going to fib. There you can see it a little bit. It really gives like a cool texture to it. So now we have this piece and we're going to do something else while we have this. So we're going to put our Big Shot platform in, and we decided we were going to cut out the leaves. That way they would peek through from underneath. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it twice. We're going to do it in the corner, one after the other. So what we're going to do, give me 1 second, I just have to grab that other plate. Put our thin die adapter back. We're going to put in our cutting plate. Yep, that's fine. You can do it that way. And what we'll do is, I have a piece here. I have a piece of tape. That way we can make sure it kind of stays at the bottom. So we're going to put, let's move this up so people can see. There we go. So we're going to push it. Yeah, kind of push it up a little bit more forward though so they can see what you're doing. And line it up to the corner there. And then you just put this little piece of tape just kind of across so it holds it in place wherever you want it. I'll hold it for you. Okay. And then we're going to put our other cutting plate on top. All right. And same thing again. Let me just move this over just a little. Just a smidge, sorry. Because otherwise we don't want it to rip up the end there. So put this on and then do the same thing again. Go ahead and crank that through the Big Shot. Yeah, I would never have ordered that folder, Deanna, because I thought, what the heck is this? You can't even tell that it does anything. And I don't know if it's because of the color that they chose in the catalog or what, but definitely does not look like it does anything. It looks like, why would you buy it? It's a waste. So you can see it cut out the bottom there. So now we're going to just move it up. We're going to do the same thing again.
Up higher,
so yep, we're going to lift this just gently. And if you're using this kind of tape, this micropore tape, or really any blue tape, what you want to do is if you peel back on it instead of just ripping it off, it won't rip your paper. If you just kind of pull it off, it might take the top layer, but if you pull it back on itself, it works pretty well.
Yes.
So we have all those little
Pieces.
peek throughs there. Pop all those out. Move this out of the way. We'll make sure our die is clear. And if you have anything get stuck in it, you can always use your paper piercer just to pop out things, but that's okay. Just leave that one for now because we can go back and pull that afterwards. And this one also has a couple pieces, if you notice. There's some that cut, and then there's some that kind of stay in there. So you can kind of fold these up, if that makes sense, if you wanted to. All right, so we're going to go ahead and line this up again. So you choose where you want it to be lined up. If you want to bring it down so it overlaps a little bit, or there you go. Looks good. Okay. So tape that. Okay, and you're going to put your other cutting pad. We're going to move this so you have room. So crank it through one more time. All right, very nice. Okay, good. So we're going to do the same thing again. So you just lift this off and pull that off. Just pull it straight back and pull it gentle. There you go. Very nice. All right, so that one's kind of cut, so we won't use that again. You can usually use those tapes multiple times.
Yes, like this one.
Yeah, I kind of saved that one from yesterday, yeah. So this one did do a little bit of an odd cut at the top, so you might want to just think about that when you line it up, but otherwise, it's kind of fun. It's got a little pattern there. So we're going to put this piece on the side because we're not going to use this one yet. While we have this out, we're going to take... Now here's when we're going to use the embossing mat. So we're going to get rid of our thin die adapter. We don't want that. We are going to keep the base plate, and we're going to keep one cutting pad. We don't need both, so we're just going to keep one. So we have our piece of cardstock that we're going to emboss. So we're going to grab, this is the giraffe / stone print. And what it tells you to do for this is to put this face up. So you put your die down, and then line your paper up on top of it. And we're going to do it twice. So kind of put it down towards the bottom or the top.
That.
Yep. And then what we're going to do, now depending on which way you want to do it with your embossing mat, so you get 3 things that come with this, okay? This one is super flimsy. It's kind of a little thinner than the silicone mat if you have that for glue. This one is a little thicker than the silicone mat. And then you have this other one that is hard. Okay, so this is the pressing part of it.
That's
so what we want to show you just before we do this is if you want to have that ring around it, so if you can see that, because some people might like the outline, then you want to use the gray.
Yes.
And the white. Okay, so the gray and the white will give you the ring. If you don't want to have the ring,
then you have to use,
like this one, then you're going to use the blue and the white. Okay, so we have our cardstock lined up. So we're going to just gently put this on top because it does kind of move things because of it's not tacky, but you know that kind of stickiness that it has. And then we're going to use, oops, guess what? I forgot one thing. We got to put one of these on the bottom. Sorry. That's okay. One cutting pad on the bottom. Sorry about that. I forgot. Getting ahead of myself. So go ahead and line that up. Put your blue flimsy, we'll just kind of lay it on top. All right, and then you're gonna put your white pad on top. So this isn't cutting, it's kind of more pressing, if that makes sense. Lay it on top, and then same thing again. So go ahead and crank it through. You got to push it in a little bit. And it does make some unusual noises. Let me bring it back a little bit. It makes some strange noises because I thought the first time I was like, ooh, that sounds like it kind of broke. But it doesn't. So here's one.
Looks good.
It's really pretty. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just slide it down. And we're going to kind of just, that's okay. We're going to just kind of fill in the other side. So we're going to put it down this way.
Should we do it a different way?
You can if you want. So this has the point up. You want to do the point down. And it's nice once you do it the first way, you can kind of see how you'd like it. But you could do it multiple ways if you wanted to. Just depends.
Like you could do it up and down to make it look like a stone path too.
You could, but we're going for giraffe, not stones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so just flip it over. There you go. Okay. Lay your blue pad on top. Oops, let's see what it looks like. Yes.
It looks like the whole paper off.
That's okay. You could also use some tape if you wanted to keep it in place. There we go. I'll lay that down. Good. You got it now. Okay, and put the white pad on top. Okay, go ahead, crank it through again. Oh, you could definitely do that. You could have the pointy leaf the other way, Karen. That is very good. One more crank. There you go. Hold on, because we ran out of space. We're in a very tight tabletop here between this and the ink. All right, so there we go. So we kind of missed a little spot in the middle. So if you wanted to, and let's just do this one more time. We'll just add one more little side piece in there. We'll kind of throw this in, kind of like halfway crooked. And then we'll just trim around it. Remove that. Put the blue.
Or we could just keep it like
white. We could, yep. Crank it through one more time. All right, and then while we have the big shot out, we're going to do one more. Keep going, one more crank. We're going to decide what animal do you want to cut out. So we have our little piece here that we're going to trim up. Have a little background on it. If you want to be more specific about lining it up, you certainly can. But what we'll probably do is just trim this out a little bit before we lay it down. So which animal do you want? And this does, just FYI while she's picking, this does have all the instructions on here for how to make your different sandwiches. So your regular sandwich, cutting and embossing, or embossing only. So just so you know, it has all those directions on there. That's fine. Thank you for sharing. Right? She's over here watching all the comments for me, so.
Yeah.
All right, let me move this over. So what did you decide? You want to do the kangaroo? Okay.
Really cute.
So the kangaroo is what we're going to use.
Cute little kangaroo.
So what I'm going to do is, let's see, we got to find out one that's facing the correct direction. So let's see, where would somebody be? He would be right up here at the top. So I'm going to just trim out a piece of paper. And I'm just going to use my scissors and just kind of cut out this area. I'm going to go like this.
The kangaroo has like a koala in it instead of another kangaroo.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? Yes. So we'll go like that. All right. And I'm going to do this one too. That way, if we want to, we might as well trim out the giraffe while we're at it as well, since they're both on the paper. So that is just a piece of the designer series paper. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my thin die adapter back in. I'm going to add in my other cutting plate. I'm going to put that in there as well.
That's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot of stuff, but we need it all. Okay, so then you can go ahead and put them. So what you want to do is you're going to put them on here kind of sideways. That way we can do both of them. Okay? So all you have to do is put them on there, line them up. Again, if you want to be real precise, you could take another little piece of washi or whatever and put him so he's straight. So it's going to be, see, if you turn him this way. There you go.
Hard to line him up.
He is not so easy. And we're just going to put a piece of tape on here just to hold him in place.
Through branches.
Oh, that's okay.
Because it's going to be the frog.
So we're going to add our second cutting pad and then crank it through. And we'll see what we get here. And then she already has decided on what sentiment she wants to use for this. And this is funny. This is the first time I've used this set. As a matter of fact, I think it's probably one of the first ones I ordered. But,
really?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I do things backwards.
You always do stuff backwards.
Oh, stop. Not always.
Sometimes you do stuff forward. Like sometimes.
All right, so let me move this out of the way because I think we're pretty much finished with this. You hold on to that. All right. And
look at all the things that it means.
Yeah, and then you do. I mean, you have all these little extra leaves that it cut out. So we could save these, the tall ones.
Look at the back of the giraffe.
Yeah, it looks just like a giraffe. Yeah, the other side of the paper, she just realizes the giraffe print. So we could always cut out a piece of that too if we wanted to. You probably could even
make the stoon
cut it out with this. And that way it'll be kind of lined up with it. Yeah, so that would be pretty cool if you wanted to do something like that. And then you could just cut a piece that looked like it. All right, so we're going to pull off our kangaroo. Try to pull him. Now this designer series paper is super delicate. I'm going to save this because I'll probably trim out that little
that thing is
Pascal.
So cute.
Isn't he cute?
Thingy.
Everything goes back to every Disney movie I've ever seen. So again,
I know, like Peter Pan, if you see a fairy,
yeah,
it's Peter Pan's
right. All right, so I'm going to peel this paper off just kind of gently, and then the other paper is stuck here, or the tape on the edge. So really simple to get off.
Very simple.
So here we have our perfectly cut out kangaroo and giraffe. Right. So let's move all this stuff over. And then we're going to put our card together. And we still have to decide what sentiment. What did you say you thought you wanted to put on there earlier?
I forgot.
Forgot. That's okay. So we have kind of our little leaf background peeking through. And again, if you saved your little pieces, you could kind of fit that back in there, but we're not going to worry about it. It's okay. And what I'm going to also do is I'm going to kind of just trim the edge of this a little bit because we're going to add this to it. So I'm going to trim kind of around the edge of this just so it's a little bit more, since we didn't line it up as exact.
Oh, look.
So I'm going to take this. Okay, I'm going to just kind of trim around to where the giraffe part is. Yeah, those are the masks I made. I did use those once before. I forgot. I think that's the only thing. I haven't used the dies, though. So I'm going to just kind of trim around the edge of this. Just so it kind of sticks a little bit more with the pattern of it.
Oh, the little one is so little.
Totally cool. Does really look like rocks when you cut it out. All right, so what we're going to do. Yep. So what sentiment did you say you wanted to use?
Little one.
Little one? Okay, so this would be like, how about if we do welcome little one? You could use this as like a baby card. Do we know anybody having babies right now? Nobody we could think of, huh?
Oh, yeah, I do know somebody, but I can't think of their name.
That's okay. Well, we can save it. So what we're going to do is...
Could I do it to,
You could. Yeah, you could. That's an old one. She has a new-ish little cousin. You could use it for his birthday. Happy birthday, little one. Yeah. Do something like that.
His birthday is pretty soon. It's in August.
There you go. All right, so we are going to put some dimensionals on this. That way it kind of sticks up from the background. You don't have to. You go completely put it flat if you wanted to, but I kind of thought it would be a little bit more fun. And before I finish this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through with just some soft suede ink, and I'm going to get a sponge.
That's sponge that got all over my fingers.
Yeah, I'm sure. Now remember, we already ran this through with the subtle textures, so we do have that on there too, but just for a little something extra.
That looks just like little, grass or something.
Grass, yeah. Or kind of makes it look a little old.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just going to sponge just the edge. Kind of go a little bit over that leaf part. So it looks a little bit more like a safari forest. There you go. All right, so there's that.
Because we're using green paper.
That's right. So what I want you to do is to take this, we're going to flip it over. This is actually going to go on the front. We're going to flip this over, and I want you to put some of these dimensionals here. So kind of put like one here, one here, add another one in. What are you doing? Keep adding. Gotta add a couple more. Gotta add a couple to the middle, or else it's not going to hold up very well. Yeah. I know sometimes people are a little bit close. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a nice word to say it. They don't like to use a lot of dimensionals, but we're going to use a bunch on this. Because
I use a bunch too when I make my cards.
With your paper pumpkin.
She always gives me some stuff.
Yeah, she got a Paper Pumpkin subscription that she definitely got a lot of use out of. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
One on my birthday, one in the next month, and one the next month.
Yeah.
And then the other.
And then
because
one more.
I had like 4 because you got me the one.
That's right. Yep. I got her one for Christmas too, I think, that one.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and lay this right on top of here.
And the fall one was pretty cool.
Yeah, the fall one was really cool.
It had stuff where you just had to like cut out leaves and crinkle the leaves, and you could glue them or dot them wherever you want.
I'm going to take this, and just because we have this here, I'm going to kind of just go over it just a little bit.
I would do that yellow, though.
What yellow?
Oh,
so it kind of looks like a giraffe?
Yeah.
Okay, how about that? We'll add a little pineapple punch.
And then we can use a little, brownish.
All right, so I added a little bit of soft suede, and we'll add a little bit of pineapple punch to make him more giraffe looking. That's pretty cool. Kind of like the dark and the light. All right, and then I'm going to go.
I think we're just going to put it like this.
However you want. This is your card, so let me add a little bit more brown to it. Kind of go around the edges with it.
Over my fingers.
That's okay. You gotta tell me.
Look.
Yeah, I know. We actually hit the down button by mistake. That way we can see what we're doing. There you go. All right, so now we're gonna put this on with some snail adhesive. So you want to put this on? You gonna put this on?
Yep.
Okay, you're going to just roll some of that across the back. All right, put some down straight. Put a little bit on this. Where's the other one? This side straight. All right, and then that's probably good. Where you put this where you want to. Okay, and in the meantime, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of these two animals. It could be wherever you want. It doesn't really matter. It's completely your choice. And with my dimensionals, I do also use the edges of these. So, but why don't you put it on the front? That way it kind of goes all together. But you can put it anywhere you want on the front. I'm
going to make it like this.
That's fine.
So it's like kind of like diagonal. Like
okay. This. That looks good.
It looks like
I'm gonna add a
little old-time card.
An old-time card. It kind of looks like, reminds me of the Jungle Cruise or Animal Kingdom at Disney, right?
Yes, it does remind me of the Animal Kingdom.
All right, we're going to add 2 more pieces in here. 2 more dimensionals.
Hi.
People saying hi to you?
Hi.
Hi, thanks for sharing. Use a bunch, exactly. You never want your card to crunch in the mail. There's not much could be worse than that. All right, so here's your giraffe. Where do you want to add him? There you go. The sponges can be washed out. As a matter of fact, this one is still wet because I washed it this morning. I just rinsed them out. They will be stained.
And they were stained on my fingers now because I just
they will
touched
be
that
stained, but once you let
Where
them
did I
dry,
put
they
this?
won't leak. Wherever you want. Did you take the backs off of it?
No.
Yep, it's off. Go ahead. I must have done it.
Yeah, you did. Like this, the head is flying. The head is gonna fly somewhere.
He's gonna fly?
The head is flying with the little ears.
You're funny. All right, here's your koala. You put him wherever you want. And then the only other thing we have to do is we're gonna add...
And so is the koala. The koala and the kangaroo are flying.
They're flying.
They're flying.
Just make sure he doesn't hang off too far because then you won't be able to fit him into the... All right, so then what we're going to do is we won't be able to fit him in the card. We're going to use a couple little strips. And we're going to stamp this. And I've seen people do this before, but I don't think I've ever done it. But it kind of makes it very fun. So can you grab me a block out of there? Just a small one's fine. All right, yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this here.
I don't really use blocks a lot, but I do sometimes use them at my house.
Okay. So we're going to do this one in black. So I'm going to stamp the 1. So we have our welcome, and then we'll put the little one. So just don't want to stamp it too much because you don't want it to be too blurry. And then what we're going to do is stamp it. It doesn't have to be next to each other because we're going to cut them out. Doesn't even matter if it's upside down. Okay. So we have welcome and little one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to kind of cut it crazy. That way it kind of goes with like a jungle-ish theme is what we're looking like. Oh, you're going to clean up for me? Thank you. So I'm going to trim this just a teeny bit closer.
Oh, Jesus.
And we do have a very crazy family here because we
Yes.
have a giraffe and a kangaroo and a koala bear.
We almost had a frog.
It's a very diverse family. So what we're going to do is we have these cut kind of on an angle.
Where's the others?
And then the welcome. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to just put these down with some
ink all over my finger now.
snail. That's okay. It'll wash off.
I already have like ink all over my finger too, and I tried to wash that off. Didn't come off.
We have welcome. Oops.
It's gonna come off later.
That's okay. And then little one. I'm going to add a little bit of snail to that.
It's down here. Oh, it's the
Did you lose a stamp?
This one.
Oh. Oh, goodness. I'm glad you found that. Look. Missing die. That's what nieces are good for, finding crazy things. So there you go. Welcome, little one. And then you could certainly add in your white panel on the inside, and you could stamp some of the extra. You could stamp the little frog. Let's do that.
Oh yeah.
Here we are.
The frog is really, really cute. I like the little frog.
Little frog.
And we can make the frog like right across too.
And then how about
I'm
on
gonna
this
make it
one?
just right on the bottom because it looks like a frog spot for a branch.
And then on the inside. That's cool, yeah. We'll do Wild About You. So let me just trim this up real quick.
Here we go.
All right, hold on one sec. Let me trim this.
Got wild effect.
And we're going to trim this to 4 by 5 1/4. That way we'll have just a little little border edge in here. All right. So we're going to stamp this though. Hey, a little quieter with the block so they can't hear you. We're going to stamp this. Oh, that was a catastrophe. Can you come over here?
That was a good day.
Come over here. There you go. That way you're not stepping on anything. I know you all know about my strategically placed piles around here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to stamp these in Memento ink.
They're pretty piles.
All right, let me see this one, please.
There's some cards over here.
Okay, let's stamp this. So we have our frog. Oh, why isn't he? Hold on, he's not inking up well. Let me test this out on something just to see. Some scrap paper. I don't think I've used this before, so.
There we go. It looks pretty cute, though. I like it.
Let me grab one other thing. Sorry, didn't mean to hit you there. You all right? Yeah. All right, let me see. I have all the scrap paper put away, so let me just test this out.
I don't know.
Maybe it's supposed to be a little more dotty, and I just don't realize it.
Probably.
That's weird.
I actually like it, little dotty.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that that is the way it's supposed to be.
It does look dotty when you see.
When you look at the stamp, yeah, it does look dotty. I think you're right. Hi from Wisconsin. Thanks for stopping in.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's the land of cheese. Be one of my favorite places to be. Yeah, the land of cheese. Let me just swap to a different one. Different Memento.
And you also love chocolate.
Yes, I do. That is true.
My favorite are Hershey Kisses.
All right, so we're going to stamp this one we said at the bottom, right? Let me put this here. All right, so he is a little dotty. And then we're going to do the Wild About You. Why don't we do this in green? Garden green. His sidekick is pretty creative. Thank you. She is very creative. She'd be very happy to know that you said that about her.
I heard it.
All right, we're going to put Wild About You right in the center there. And then what you can do is you can take your garden green that you have already out, and you could take your blender pen.
South Carolina.
You're reading all the comments over there now. You take your blender pen and your garden green, and you can just kind of fill in a little bit of the color here.
Oh. Her stamp is the same way.
Is it? Okay, so maybe it must be the way it's designed. Thanks for telling me. There we go. That's Miss Christina. Her and I probably have the same taste in stamps, so she always knows. Thanks for watching as always, Christina. I appreciate you hopping on here. Okay, I'm going to get this one. And then I'm not going to re-ink it. I'm going to just add just a little bit of color for the frog. Just a teeny, so it's kind of more a little see-through. And then what you can do is, I can't read it. You can read it. What's it say?
It says chocolate cheese tastes like fudge, yummy.
Yeah. I bet. Chocolate cheese. That's got to be interesting. I'm going to use a teeny bit of Call Me Clover while I have it. I'm just going to dip off the pad. All right, right here. Just a little bit. Oh, you thought it was yours too? You can talk. That way I can hear what they're saying. Yeah. So a little bit of green, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, you're so kind. I'm going to do a little soft suede. And I'm going to do the branch just really, really lightly. Just to kind of finish this off so it gives a little something to it. Hold on. Tell me what it says.
It says my grandson loves the rainbow stamper guy.
Oh, the rainbow stamper guy. I'm glad. Yeah, he made another appearance the other day when he made his 2 birthday train cards.
Yeah, he's in the other room playing family right now.
All right, so that's about it. We kind of added a little bit to that. While we're at it, we might as well. We have a little bit of this left on here, so we'll just kind of sponge the edge with what's left on this sponge. This was soft suede, just to kind of give a little something to the edge. Kind of finish off the card. And just pop into the side here, make a little, I think it'll look a little fun on that. Okay, and then all we're going to do is add, I'm going to try not my fingers a little wet from that wet stamp. Cheese part of chocolate cheese. Oh, that sounds really good. Cream cheese. Man, see, I went there once when my company sent me to Wisconsin to learn how to use these new scanners that we got. If you guys remember, I'm a CAT scan technologist, so I learned how to use the machine at the GE Center, which was amazing. Just the fact of how big that place was. It's like Disneyland, but for medical equipment. And, yes, I definitely ate my weight in cheese while I was there. That's 100% for sure. All right, so sponging does add a lot. Absolutely. If you ever don't know what to do with your card, Sponging certainly helps it. But look how fun that is. A fun card. Nobody would ever think, that's okay, that comes off. Nobody would ever think to put things crooked. But look how cute this is. So welcome, little one.
Welcome,
again, Wild About You. We did our little frog on the inside.
He's so cute.
It's a great card. I mean, even the fact that we started out with this and it kind of really was not really lined up very much, but ended up being absolutely adorable. So, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yes.
Now, next week, my lovely assistant will be on vacation. So she's not going to be here. What are they saying? Great card, little niece. How awesome is that? Thank you very much, guys. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. Yep, she's going to be at the beach. They're going on vacation. So you'll just have me next week, I believe. And maybe Rainbow Stamper Guy will make an appearance.
Maybe.
But again, we do have all these little pieces. So if you wanted to, you could add them like to the inside or something. You could put these so they were kind of inside, like inlaid if you wanted to. Lots of different things you could do with your pieces. So definitely play around with it. Again, right now we do have the DSP special, buy 3 get 1 free. If you want to sign up and be part of the Rainbow Stampers, that is my group, and I'm also part of Team Stamp It with Tammy White and many others. So you would have all those wonderful resources. All you have to do is it's $125 for $99, plus you get an entire free stamp collection. So if you chose the in colors, you would get all of these.
They're crazy.
Now that's just 5. Okay, so those 5, plus the other in colors, Tranquil Tide, Lemon Lime Twist, Fresh Fig, Berry Burst, Powder Pink. You would get all of these for free. So one entire color collection for free. All of the stamp pads. That is a huge
all of the stamp
bonus.
pads.
Well, of course she has all the stamp pads. So that's a huge bonus. And the other thing is, you won't really need to have any purchases if you want to keep your demonstratorship up until December, because your first quarter is free, and then in the second quarter, which is October, November, December, that's when you have your next minimum due. So you could stamp for 6 months for free. I mean, there's no better reason to join right now than to do that. So and the other thing is too, the holiday catalog is coming, which all the people who are fortunate enough to go on the Alaska cruise will get to see ahead of time. But if you join now, you can also do pre-ordering through the holiday catalog. So excellent time to join if you're going to buy stuff. And if not, if you do make a purchase in my online store, so it's rachthestamper.stampinup.net, every $50 purchase gets a free PDF. And also through July 31st, I will send a set, once I get them all in, of basic brads. So I know how much everybody probably loves brads, and they were so awesome. And I still have a million of them left over because they were like my favorite things. But basic brads, you get a pack of those as well. So make sure you use hostess code that's on the top of this. I will pin it to the comments, and this video will be pinned to the top of the comments. And then I will let you guys know what day I'll be back next week. Yes. And then the week after that, I'll be on vacation myself. So no stamping that week. It'll be 1 week of no stamping, actually real no stamping. And also really quickly, we do have our Christmas in July blog hop coming up this Saturday. It starts at 10 a.m. You can follow that at rachthestamper.com. Lots of Christmas ideas, and enter to win a fabulous prize as always. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will post this later to my blog, and I'll post the video and whatnot as well over to the YouTube channel. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Stay cool, stay hot, enjoy the weather. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching.